another Maker Monday with the Warren County Library System. My name is Sandy Roberts and I'm the Makerspace coordinator for the library. And I'll be coming to you every week at 2 p.m. with new projects that let you make and create and express yourself and build something new. So today, in honor of Earth Day, which is coming up in just a few days, I thought we'd make a tiny terrarium. It's very simple, very minimal materials. Plus, it gives you a chance to get outside and hunt for some moss, and it gives you a chance to explore the greenhouse effect and how our own atmosphere here on the planet actually works. So, what do we need to get started? You're going to need a glass jar to be your terrarium. You want to make sure it has a lid, okay? I like something that's kind of nice and wide, just because you don't want to have to try and get items down through a small neck. So a nice wide mouth jar. The size is really up to you. Mason jars are nice. I do kind of prefer something that doesn't have a lot on the side, something that's smooth, because you're going to want to be able to look inside and see what's in your terrarium. Now, you may also be able to, depending on your jar, if you have a place that you could like put it, you could also try it on its side or like that. You might have a nice vase. Okay, so there are a lot of ways you can go, but this is a basic pickle jar. Seems to work really well. Next, you're going to need some gravel. And I'm just storing it in a water bottle here because gravel tends to run away. Any kind of gravel. This is from my fish tank, and I washed it really well. But you can get some gravel from outside if you have a little bit in your driveway or something like that. You can buy gravel, of course, at hardware stores, which are open right now. You don't need a lot. You're going to fill your jar about a quarter of the way. So a handful or two is more than enough. You are going to need something to create a barrier between the gravel and our soil. There are a lot of things you can use. If you have a cheesecloth, that works great. I have a little bit of craft burlap here. A couple layers of that would work nicely. An old cloth napkin, that would work. You just want something that the water from above can trickle down if it needs to. You don't want a plastic barrier. You want a permeable barrier, but you also don't want your soil to be just falling down into the dirt, okay? I also have, if you want a really natural substance, this is some sphagnum moss. It's from a craft store. I had it sitting around for a different project. Something like this can be really nice to set in between. Not only does it make a nice layer and it looks cool, but it provides the same kind of stopping, all natural stopping between the two layers while still letting water flow through. So you have a lot of options there. And then you're just going to use some potting soil. If you have rich soil in your backyard, you can go dig a bit of that up. Again, you're not going to need a ton, okay, just a little bit, but you do need some soil, okay? Some folks swear by putting a bit of activated charcoal in under your cloth or your moss layer. If you have some around, I know some people use it for all kinds of things. If you happen to have a bit, from your fish tank or whatever, you can sprinkle some in there. I'm not going to use it today because I don't happen to have any on hand and I don't consider that worthwhile going out to a store to search for right now. It can help keep down any bacteria or mold is what is thought, but I haven't really needed it. Okay, last thing that you're going to need, a couple more things you're going to need. You're going to need a little water bottle. It can be an old hairspray bottle, anything like that. Just make sure you wash it out really well. This is going to be used to keep your terrarium moist in case it needs it. Once it hits the perfect level, you won't really need to open it up and give it more water, but at first it's going to take a little while to get things started, so you do need to mist it down well. You're going to need some nice little trinkets. I have some cool looking rocks here. You might have little figures, glass beads, like the big flat glass beads, or marbles work really nicely. Basically, this is the maker creative side of things, right? You can create whatever amazing environment and fantasy world that you want to create. Or heck, you could put some zombie figures or minifigs in there. It's really up to you, okay? So get creative with it. Think about what kind of things would look cool in there. And then probably the most important part. This is some moss that I've collected from outside. Okay, and it's real live moss that I I got from outside in the yard. You don't want to take a lot. A little bit is all you need. You don't even have to fill the whole jar, but I want to get a couple different types. We're going to go over what to look for in a moss before you select it. You will need a bowl to bring out, and then something like a spoon or a shovel, or I just used a popsicle stick to help pry the moss out of the ground. Moss is a little different than regular plants. Regular plants grow from a seed, okay? They grow a, leaves and a stem and a flowering body. And moss is different than that. It grows low to the ground. It grows by sending spores up in the spring. It's not really tiny, they're kind of tiny leaves, but moss is a really interesting plant to work with. It grows a little bit differently. And so if you haven't worked with mosses before, you may want to do a little research. They're really fun because there's so many different types, different colors, different textures. So a little respect for the humble moss that we don't always think of. And we're going to go over where you can find this in your yard in just a minute. So that's what you need for your supplies. Go and assemble everything, and let's go outside and hunt for some moss.
Okay, so I've headed outside. It's a reasonably nice day. We've got a little bit of sunshine. It's a little chilly, but that's okay. We're on the hunt for moss, okay? Moss likes to live in kind of shady areas that are nice and moist. So you're not going to find it out in the middle of a field usually. You're going to have to look around like rock walls and things like that to see if you can find moss. When you do find it, you're going to want to gently take it from the earth and make sure you have some of the soil under it. You just need a little bowl, maybe a little spatula or a shovel or a spoon. I just have a popsicle stick. You can even just use your hands. When you select your moss, make sure that you find something that's fairly green. You don't want anything that's brown and dying. And you want to make sure that it's not going to spore. So it doesn't have, you don't want it to have little stalks coming up from it because it's trying to reproduce at that point. So you definitely want to pick moss that is not ready to start growing more moss. Let's see what we can find. Okay, found some moss here. It's a little bit different than some of the other types I've seen, but it's not to spore. This one's a little bit brown, and you can see it's kind of dry. So this may not be a very good choice for our terrarium. Okay, here's an example of some moss that's going to spore. And you can see it's got those little stalks and tiny little green heads. Those will dry over time and then release little spores that will become new moss. So you don't want to pick something like this. You want to make sure that this gets a chance to finish its life cycle. Okay, I found some moss growing on a little bit of a hill. You can see it right here. It's nice and green. It looks like it already went to spore. You can see the little stalks. So we're going to avoid the parts that are still got their little spores on there. Okay. And we're going to take a look around and see if we can find a couple different types of moss. But I'm going to start with a tiny piece from over here. You don't need to take a lot. Okay. You want to make sure you leave plenty behind. And I'm just going to gently break off a little bit. And you see how I took the soil with it? That's what we want.
Okay, welcome back. Let's assemble our terrarium. Okay, we've got our clean glass jar that we've washed out, and it's nice and dry inside. I'm just going to go ahead and take my fish tank gravel, and I'm going to pour it right on in. There we go. Let's see. We want to get about a quarter of the way because you want to have lots of good drainage. Okay, this is going to generate a fair amount of moisture. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. I might have gone a little overboard, but it's pretty forgiving. Okay, next we're going to put in our barrier so that our potting soil doesn't fall down into our gravel, but water can still travel if it needs to. Again, you can use a little bit of cloth, cheesecloth, a little old napkin, anything like that. A little burlap is nice. I'm going to go with this just because, I don't know, I have it on hand and I think it'll look really neat, and that's okay. You don't need this to be very thick. Again, it's just there to kind of keep the soil from falling into the dirt and kind of clogging that all up, or into the gravel and clogging that up. All right, there we go. I'm just pressing that down a bit, making a mess all over the place. So you see I've just got some of that sphagnum moss in there. And again, you want to make sure that if you're using it, it's a natural product. You're not using anything that's like dyed or anything like that. All right. Next comes our potting soil. And you're just going to add a thin layer. You don't need a whole lot. If you, when you were collecting moss, were careful enough to make sure that you collected the soil as you went, you really don't need a whole lot of potting soil. And you're just going to press that down. And again, see why I said no narrow mouth jars? If you want to use like a spoon or something like that to help you place things, or tongs can help, go ahead and help yourself out that way. Now, before I go any further, okay, I'm going to take out that water bottle and I want to give this a good spritz. I want to moisten that soil, okay, because we want this moss to grow, and it will grow once you get this thing going. Okay, that looks pretty good. Nice and moist, because we want those roots to grow into that potting soil. Now I'm just going to select kind of my favorite pieces. You can use scissors or just your fingers to trim away any bits and pieces. Okay, just kind of clean that up a little bit. It's not going to hurt it if you're gentle. Okay, and then I'm just going to, actually I'm going to go ahead and just, this one got a little dry while I was putting this all together. So I'm just going to go ahead and just gently kind of push that down into the soil. Pick a couple different types. You want to kind of play with that. This one had some asphalt on the back. Okay, cleaning that up. And maybe while you're outside, you found some other really interesting twigs or stones or things like that you're going to add to your terrarium while you're exploring. I know I did. So I'm going to kind of put that in there. Now again, you don't want to fill this whole thing. You want to give it some room to grow. Okay, so I'm going to go only about halfway. And you don't want the moss to be above the level of the rest of the soil. So make sure you kind of tuck it in there a little bit. Put a little bit of soil around that, or remove some soil so it can kind of be down into that dirt. You don't want to make it a situation where it's going to dry out around the edges, because that'll make it die. It won't live if it starts to dry out around the edges like that. So you're going to just kind of work with it. Again, I have my popsicle stick. That can help a little bit. Kind of use it as a little shovel in there. Get everything just where it needs to be. Okay, I'm just going to use that to gently nudge my moss down into the soil. Okay, kind of clean it up a little bit. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and give it another misting. Really paying attention to the moss. Make sure it's nice and damp. Moss likes to have that wet environment. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my little charms. And this is the fun part, right? So I've got a nice little stone here that I painted. Put that in. I actually painted it and then I wrote the numbers for pi on it because I can't help it. I have to be a little bit nerdy. Well, this is a pretty rock. Okay, so whatever you like. If you've got little figures or whatever, if you found some cool looking pieces of like sticks or anything, that's great. You just don't want to put in anything that's really going to decompose. Like you don't want to put in a bunch of leaves or anything, because that could hurt the moss as it decomposes. So you want to keep it to mostly things that are, as we say, inert. Then you're just going to use your hand or a piece of paper towel or a bit of cloth. You want to make sure that you clean off the rest of the jar. You don't want dirt kind of making a mess of that. You want to be able to see it nicely, kind of neaten it up a little bit. I probably should have grabbed a paper towel before this. Look, my hands are messy again. That's always the sign of a good project, right? When the hands are messy. All right. And then from there, you're going to put the lid on, because just like our Earth's atmosphere, this terrarium is a closed system. And that's part of the magic of it, is that it's going to grow and kind of take care of itself as you take care of it. So you may need to add warm water over the next couple days, but it's a closed atmosphere. I hope that gave you some inspiration for some really fun terrariums that you can make. You're going to want to put this guy in a warm, well lit but not sunny, direct sun kind of place because you don't want it to dry out. So a windowsill, maybe on the side of the house that doesn't get sun all day, or even, on your bureau in your room, something like that. Just make sure it gets some sun. It does need some sun. But moss in general likes a damp, kind of shady environment. So you want to give it the same environment inside that it would have outside. All right, I want you to make sure that you post pictures with your parents' permission of your really cool tiny terrariums from today. I can't wait to see what you guys create, what kind of wonderful worlds you create in your terrarium. You can share them and just tag @WarrenLib, and we will get to see those, okay? I will be back next Monday at 2 p.m. for Maker Monday. There's not going to be a Friday Steam this week because we have a really great special presentation coming for you. So make sure you still tune in and take a look at our events page, okay? We've got a lot of fun stuff. We are thinking about you. We miss you. We want to be back at the library with you. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.